I cut my hand. I need 911.
No, Cam, you don't need 911 for a minor cut like that. We all have accidents sometimes, but it's how we react and recover that matters. Who knows what the first thing you should do when you get a cut is? It's okay if you don't know how to answer that question. In this video, we're going to walk you through the steps of healing a wound and the science behind it. Once you have watched this, you will be an expert just like us and remain calm and collected in these type of situations. The first thing you should do immediately is wash your hands. Now we'll show you a video with Stephen Blaha from the Cleveland Clinic. Give us a brief description of what you do at the Cleveland Clinic.
So I'm one of the staff physicians working in the emergency department at the main campus of the Cleveland Clinic, and we treat patients who present with acute injuries or illnesses and work to stabilize them.
Why is it important to wash your hands as soon as you get a cut?
So bacteria live all over our skin, and as soon as there's a break in it from a laceration or an abrasion, it can allow that bacteria to get in, and the sooner that you clean it out, the less likely it is to become infected. There are more contaminated wounds from like dirt, rusty objects that have a higher degree of getting infected, so those are especially important to perform cleansing.
What soaps should people stay away from?
So certain soaps contain like more fragrances, which can have harmful effects, as well as chemicals called parabens, which are used as preservatives in the soap, and there's other ones that increase like the foaming action, and those may contain chemicals which can also be harmful to use. So it's probably best to find soaps that have the least amount of these type of chemicals and are more natural.
What soap does the Cleveland Clinic use and recommend?
So we use Purell in both our hand sanitizers and hand soaps. I'm not going to say that I would recommend a particular kind, although ones that have antibacterial properties would be best to use.
Soap making and creating has been around since 2800 BC, and a document from 1500 BC shows that it is made by mixing animal and vegetable oils with alkaline salts. Fast forward 3,000 years and a lot has changed. In the early 1600s, soap was more of a household chore as opposed to a commercial business or item. By 1850, soap was a booming industry, and the discovery of fat in soaps brought a huge reduction in prices. Nowadays, soap is made from alkali salts such as sodium or potassium, which chemically reacts with carboxylic acids, resulting in the mixture that picks up bacteria and dirt off of our hands. Normal water is not sufficient because soap is what picks up the dirt and oil from your hands. Water and oil do not mix, so water alone will simply glide right over the oil and bacteria on your hands. The sodium used in soap helps to break up bacteria particles because it is a heat exchange. You should be careful to avoid soaps with heavy scents because the fragrance chemicals decrease antibacterial properties and could cause your skin to become irritated and even have allergic reactions.
The next step you should take is to apply antibacterial ointment. We will be using Neosporin. According to Science Direct Journal, some evidence indicates that the rate of infectious complications decreases when a broad-spectrum topical antibiotic ointment is applied to the cut-down site. Morton and colleagues found an infectious complication rate of 18% when using polymyxin B-neomycin bacitracin, which is Neosporin, was used as opposed to a 78% rate in a placebo-treated group. We will now jump back to Steve Blaha explaining Neosporin. What ingredients in Neosporin help to heal open wounds and how?
So Neosporin is also known as triple antibiotic ointment because it contains 3 different antibiotics. These are bacitracin, polymyxin, and neomycin. They have antibacterial effects which help to prevent infection of a wound and allow healing.
If you don't use Neosporin after accidents, what could happen?
So there's an increased likelihood of infection because our skin is covered with bacterial flora, including staphylococcal species, also known as staph. So it would decrease the likelihood of the wound becoming infected.
How does the body react to application of Neosporin?
Typically, there shouldn't be a reaction to Neosporin, although there's an association with one of the three ingredients, neomycin, where it can cause a localized allergic reaction called contact dermatitis. For this reason, sometimes this is not used, and we only use either bacitracin by itself or bacitracin and polymyxin instead.
In the hospital, what instances would a trained professional use Neosporin on a patient?
So if a patient presents with an open wound, such as a laceration that we end up repairing with sutures or abrasion, we would typically apply Neosporin to it in order to prevent wound infection.
Neosporin was first founded in the late 1950s after neomycin was founded in 1949 by microbiologist Selman Waksman. Despite its early release date, it was not approved by the FDA until 1971. Neomycin was named top 10 in allergens of the year, which is why often bacitracin and polymyxin are used on their own. In some countries, triple antibiotic ointment, or Neosporin, has been limited to prescription use only. Since it was introduced, more types of Neosporin have been produced and added with different ingredients. The most common and simple form of Neosporin is made with bacitracin, neomycin, and polymyxin B. Neomycin is made from neomycin sulfate, polymyxin B sulfate, and bacitracin zinc. Sulfur has been known for centuries as a cleansing power. Cream made with sulfur can be used to treat diseases and infections. Zinc is an essential micronutrient for plants, animals, and humans. It is used to build molecules of DNA, which is what gives Neosporin its healing properties. Without zinc, the body cannot make DNA and therefore cannot remake the cells that have been damaged as a result of a cut or wound. However, breathing in zinc can cause throat irritation, coughing, aches, chills, fever, nausea, and vomiting. It is a common misconception that Neosporin speeds up the healing process. However, that is myth. Neosporin only helps prevent the infection of getting a disease. The bacteria found on skin is called Staphylococcus. This is when bacteria gets into our blood from an open wound and it causes a staph infection. Bacterial flora are similar bacterial organisms to Staphylococcus and can also cause infections when they get into the bloodstream and deeper into the body. Neosporin kills the bacteria along with keeping it from growing, which is what makes it better than normal bacitracin on its own.
The last step in this process is to apply a Band-Aid. Band-Aids prevent dirt, oil, and other things from getting into your open wound.
Am I now protected from infectious diseases?
Well, Kim, your risk of infection has now significantly decreased. Be sure to reapply Neosporin and a Band-Aid about 3 times a day. Now you're good to go.